Well, good afternoon, everybody, and we are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Welcome to another Social Saturday. This week, we will be talking about LinkedIn profile reviews and hopefully having a chance to help some of you improve and update your own LinkedIn profiles and understanding what you should be looking at and why. So if you are joining us, please drop in the comments where you are joining us from. Hey, Jackie, good to see you. And let us know if you are up for being a guinea pig and want your profile reviewed live here on LinkedIn. Hey, Gable. Yes, Gabe, Gabe, we are live, my friend. So please do come up if you feel like coming to say hi. With Social Saturday Chat, we run every single Saturday and have done so for over 4 years. And on a Saturday afternoon, we have covered topics from mental health, mental wellness, to HR items, to men's mental health, to neurodiversity, to homelessness, to positive mindset, to so many different things. And it has been an incredible time with an incredible community of people. And we have a few comments coming in. My profile needs a review. Well, Gabe, you know where to go, my friend. The link I'm going to drop onto the banner in a second, and you can come and join us. There we go. If you go to streamyard.com/ and just type in that little code over there, and you'll be able to join us live here on stage. Joel has decided to switch on the camera, show off his hair. And I'm going to ask you, Joel, when last have you updated your LinkedIn profile and why?
I'm still waiting for my review from you, Mag.
Still waiting for the review from me. Well, you know how to book that. You've got the link.
I tried to, but then like winning, it's like trying to win. I get a better chance of winning the lottery, or Millwall had a better chance of winning Premier League.
No, that's interesting. Well, you've got the link, my friend. Just book it in. Get it done. Felipe, my friend, has just joined in the background. And I know this is a topic near to his heart that he wanted us to discuss. So I know he'll be popping up in a second. And with LinkedIn, hey, Tom, good to see you, my friend. Happy Saturday. LinkedIn profiles are, is something that I see on a daily basis that people just discard. And they forget that it's the kind of their virtual business card that is that first impression. And Gabe's getting his camera ready. Oh my God, the show's finally on. What do you mean on? We've been on for a few minutes already, Kenneth. Just waving hello. Kenneth knows what that means. Lisa, good to see you. Happy Saturday. Hey, Meryl. Our good friend Meryl is commenting, hello, Mac and Joel. Greetings from northern New Jersey. I tell you what, if you are not connected to this man, who is a serial inviter of all things good on LinkedIn, so do yourself a favor, make sure that you're on his radar, because he'll make sure you don't miss out. And Felipe is joining us stage, and when his camera is ready, he'll jump in. But
hello,
Felipe, look at you, so well tanned. The last time I saw you, you were running around on a beach somewhere. Just in the waves, gallivanting.
I got away for a weekend. It wasn't. I didn't gallivant
too
much. It was a mini gallivant.
Oh, you need a hell of a lot more than that, my friend. You deserve a good, few weeks, if not like a solid month of just
decompress. Yes.
There you go. Oh, yeah. Well, welcome. We'll do invites quickly, because I'm going to start with you, Felipe, doing an invite and why this topic is so important to you as well. We were just talking about the fact that it's something that people get wrong so often, or just discard or don't see as important. And I'll share a little bit later about how somebody didn't realize how important it was and the cost to them as a result. But over to you, Felipe.
Well, thank you, Mac. And so for those of you I have not had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Felipe Cofino. I have been an HR executive for 25 plus years. And because of that, I have been giving back on LinkedIn about workplace, about careers, coaching. I do shows around Workplace Wellness Hour with Simona Jetty, which we are on summer break right now, coming back in September. And then I do careers casting coaching with Melissa Houston, which is a week from tomorrow. And that's every other Sunday, where we talk about coaching, careers, unique things are happening, hybrid work, AI, and everything in between. And due to all the work that I did on LinkedIn, I became a LinkedIn top voice. LinkedIn gave me that badge, which I don't take lightly. I use that to really make sure that the value that I'm providing, I make sure that I authenticate it, make sure that I validate it, because I don't want to give out incorrect information out there. And through that journey, it took me to writing a few chapters and books, which turned into me selling or writing a best-selling children's book. That now the second book is coming out in 2 weeks, and that is going to be something that never thought that would be part of the journey, but because of LinkedIn, it got me there. And last but not least, I would say that I am very, very passionate about being on this show with this team here, because we always are learning from each other, learning from those of you that come up here on the show. And our goal is to give back. So the topic today about LinkedIn profiles, one of the many reasons why it's so important is because think about if you were, I don't care if you were networking, if you were dating, if you were just trying to meet somebody, and you saw somebody that was in the corner, torn shirt, messy hair, maybe, some ripped jeans on, and really quiet and not moving, not talking to anybody, just kind of being, a little bit alone. Most people would think, A, maybe they don't belong here. B, maybe they're just not really trying to network and they're just trying to observe. Or C, they're just people watching and wander into the wrong room because of how their appearances, and I'm not judging appearances here. I'm just saying, if you go to a networking event or if you go to a dating thing and you see someone dressed like that, they're like, either they don't care about this event or they're at the wrong place. It just doesn't match. Well, your LinkedIn profile is the same thing. Whether I'm somebody who's looking to hire you for your business, or I'm a recruiter, I'm looking at your profile as a potential candidate to reach out to for a job. If I see, excuse my language, a half-assed profile, guess what? I'm not going to probably spend as much time on than I would on somebody who has a complete profile, just because I don't want to spin my wheels on somebody who might never see my message or even be active enough to even recognize that I was trying to connect with them. So when you have a complete profile, that alone is such a huge thing in optimizing it. Once you do that, where you take that is your journey. And it can be literally anything. It can be about your business. It can be about your job. It can be about your journeys. It can be about content creating. It can be about marketing. Whatever that journey is, sales. LinkedIn's the top leading generating platform for leads out there. So where do people go? Sales Navigator, because LinkedIn's the best at doing that. So I share all that because if you're going to use something, it's like getting a smartphone and the only thing you ever use it for is to make phone calls. You're underutilizing it. You're underutilizing things that are going to save you time, possibly save you money, and connect with people better. So there's my 2 cents on that before we dive into actual profile things. But Mac, I'll hand it back over to you.
Well, you've touched on so much over there that kind of leads into the story that I want to share to kind of open this discussion of how important just having your LinkedIn profile updated is. Firstly, if anybody searches your name, whether it be now on AI or on Google, LinkedIn's going to come up on page 1. They do all the hard work for you. So imagine, when you set up a website, you've got to pay somebody to do all the SEO and the ads and all the optimizing to try and get you on page 1, and that can cost a fortune in a lot of cases. But here you have a platform that's doing that for you, and the stuff that they do for most small business owners or coaches or executives, they haven't got as deep pockets as LinkedIn. But LinkedIn does all that stuff for you if you make sure you do your bit. They can't, it's that old thing of rubbish in, rubbish out. And to give you an example, a few months ago, I was speaking to a financial advisor who has a prime real estate address in central London. Their website is incredible. And he does a hell of a lot of networking. And he called me up and he goes, Mac, I know you've told me about LinkedIn so many times, and I've always gone like, another social media thing, I'll do it later. He says, but I've been following up on all the networking that I've been doing and all the referrals I've been getting over the years, and just phoning people up and going, oh, why didn't you end up going with us? Or why didn't you call me? Because I know I was past your details. I try to follow up. And in most cases, people were like, man, I've gone elsewhere. And they didn't tell him why, but he actually took some time to actually do that research and find out why he wasn't converting all that business. And he wasn't looking for new leads. He just wanted to make sure that he was covering the ones that he was already getting. And he started speaking to people, and the common answer was, well, we looked you up. We found you weren't active on LinkedIn. Your profile didn't match what you had sent us. So we thought it was somebody else. And there was just no credibility around who you are. And he was like, but look at our address, look at our website. And they were like, well, anybody can register a prime real estate address these days via a, online company that sets it up for you. And when it comes to a website, nobody's going to say anything bad about themselves on their own website. He says, so your website looks great, but we want something credible where we can see, well, who are you connected to? What is your past? Like, what is your, is your company real? Can it be trusted? What are the other people saying about that business or that company? Does anybody else follow that company? And what do they say in the comments and in the posts and that kind of thing? And it's literally a 30-second subconscious kind of check-in that people do. So for an example, I'd love people to comment if they go and research people before they start doing business with them, or before they take a job with them, or before they recruit somebody. And I've heard lately so many cases where, just last week I heard about a company that actually let somebody go because they went and looked at their socials and looked at LinkedIn and went, this person doesn't match our morals and our values. And I know that that's his profile, but it just doesn't resonate with our company and align with what we're about. And they ended up letting him go. So, this is such important time that needs to be taken around your profile, because when you go on LinkedIn, this person who did this review realized that actually some of the deals were worth tens of millions, some of them hundreds of millions, but he was losing business that was being referred through existing clients in his existing network just because his profile wasn't up to date and credible. So ask yourself, how much money are you leaving on the table, even though you might be incredibly good at what you're doing, just because you haven't taken the time to make sure your profile talks to the people that you work with, so that it says to them when they land on your profile, Felipe works with people like me, or that it has the latest credentials and showing that you're up to date. Because in an information age that we're in at the moment, people want to know that you know what you're talking about, and that your last personal review wasn't 6 years ago before the boom of AI, and are you able to fit into the next career move? Are you keeping yourself updated? So the last thing I want to say is, whenever you comment, because one of the things people don't realize on LinkedIn is that commenting is now even more powerful than posting, and your picture, your headline, the first 40 to 45 characters, and your name will follow you everywhere. And I find so many people, and I don't know about yourself, Felipe, where those three, just the basics, aren't right. So I've said enough now. I'm going to hand back to you, Felipe, just to kind of get your thoughts. We already have somebody who's joined us on stage. We'll introduce him in a few. In fact, Felipe, I'll let you introduce him. A regular visitor up on our stage, and we've got loads of comments.
Well, let's make some profile reviews. I want people to come up here who want a profile review and want some feedback. Before we get to Jay, just I want to go over some really quick things about profile reviews for you to think about as we review some profiles here. And they're going to be from the base 5, top things to think about as you go through your page. So this is going from your top of your page down to the bottom. So if you're looking at, if you look at your page and look at the first screen before you scroll up, is what I want you to do. Okay. Of course, it's not scrolling up. So do one screen at a time. If you're looking at the first screen of your page, I want you to think about these few things on here. One, look at the visuals, all the visuals. Is your picture clear? Is it visible? Can people see your eyes? People want to see your eyes and see you smiling. Unless you're a mortician, smile. Even if you're a mortician, probably wouldn't hurt a smile. But, and then secondly, your banner. Make sure that you have some kind of, Canva does free banners for you. You can do very easy free banners on Canva. You can also update your profile picture on Canva. It gives you the tools to do it for free, and even has preset LinkedIn banners that you can use. That is better than having it with that grayed out plain banner. Okay, so just remember that. 2, below your picture is your headline. You have 220 characters. Just saying, accountants is not going to really pull anyone's eyes. The keywords that they do when they do an SEO search, they pull from there. That's one of the main areas. So make sure that you are putting a lot of keywords in there. When I put in mine, I have my titles, the things I do, things that are unique that might be important for people. Like I'm bilingual, I am a trainer, I have SHRM background, I'm a podcaster. These are things I want people to know about me. Those keywords that people search for, make sure that they're in your headline. And then also, I will say the little microphone that's right next to the name. There's a little microphone right there. And that little microphone right there, that gives you about 20 seconds to talk. So you can say more than just pronounce your name. A lot of us have names that are chopped up sometimes when people pronounce it. It's a great way for people to know how to pronounce your name, especially if you're sensitive about it. But also, a little sales pitch about what you do. Mine says, like, hey, I'm Felipe Cofino. I help people do. And so use that, all right? Now, scrolling down to the next part, you have analytics. Look at the analytics, but compare them to yourself. Don't compare them to other people, okay? But your about section, I want you to spend time with your about section. Use AI to help you beef up your about section, but proof it, edit it, and don't make it too long to read. If it's too long to read, people are not going to read it. You want to make sure that it stands out and highlights the accomplishments that you have so that people can say, oh, they've done this. I need someone who can do that. But tell your story and share some personal facts. You love dogs. You love racing cars. You love Marvel, or you love reality TV. Throw a little bit of that in there at the end to sprinkle, because that will capture people's attention. All right, real quick for the activity. If you're in a job that you're promoting yourself on LinkedIn, make sure the activity matches your brand, and make sure you're using the featured section. The featured section allows you to scroll to different things that you want to highlight. It's your little natural billboard that you can highlight all the different things that you want to that you're talking about currently, or maybe one of your best posts that you want to keep up there and pinned up there. A new thing I learned, I don't know if you know about this, Mac, do you know that you can now pin your recommendations to your feature section? I didn't know you could do that. That was a new thing I learned. So that feature section is your billboard. Highlight what you want to talk about today. All right. And keep it up there for as long as you want, forever, or for just a week, but play around with that. Now, your activity section, you can tap it and put it into posts, comments, views, videos, images. You can set it to whatever topics you do the most. If you do a lot of comments, great. If you do a lot of videos, go ahead and have that setting as your default. So when people go to your page, they'll see that. But here's all I'm going to say about the activity. If you're doing activity, you don't have to. Commenting alone is activity. So at least do that. But creating content, it's a whole different level. What I want you to remember when you're creating content, and content means doing these lives, doing interviews, or posting images or videos. People are going to look at that, and that's how they're going to view you. So if you're talking about, I'm talking about HR, people are going to know I'm an HR person. Recruitment, wait, if I'm trying to get people to hire me for speaking events and I'm not talking about speaking events, guess what? I'm not going to have anyone reach out about me. If I'm using this platform to complain, to vent, to badmouth other people, talk about politics, religion, all the things that are kind of taboo on social media, that's what your potential new bosses, recruiters, or business partners are going to see. So make sure you're aware of what you're doing there. And then the last part here, two more parts. Your experience section, make sure your experience section doesn't just say the workplace you work at and the job. Add what you do. The accomplishments that you mentioned in your about section, add them in there and make sure you list them in there, okay? And the other thing that's important, it gives you a chance to tap into skills. I love that you did that, Jay. Your skills at the bottom of your experience section, it gives you a chance to see skills that you have worked at. So I have 18 skills. You can't really read that very well, but it says, the skills that I had that I used in that job, tie them to that job. It's important because it works for the recruiters when they're searching for you. All right. And also, if the logo does not appear to the job that you worked at, it's one of two things. One, they don't have a company page and there's nothing you can do about that. Two, you might have misspelled the name. If I put down Hyatt Hotels and their page is the Hyatt Hotels, I need to write in the in order to get the logo pre-populated. All right. And then the last part here, which I think is one of the important parts that people forget about, is that bottom section where you have licenses, certifications, volunteering, skills, and recommendations. These are all areas that the SEO will pull from as well. Skills, you have up to 100 skills. If you don't have at least 50 to 75, you're losing out. At least minimum 50 to 75 as a minimum. Repeat some of the skills. Put skills as spreadsheets, and put Excel. Because if someone searches for spreadsheets and doesn't put the word Excel, you're not going to come up. So double up on some of the meanings of the words. And then, again, tie them back to the jobs that you use them in. So people go like, well, when did you use this skill? Oh, use it in these jobs. Great. Recommendations. I mentioned you can pin those now in your featured section. Give more than you take. Give more recommendations. You'd be surprised at how many will give back. And then go after the low-hanging fruit out there, y'all. Go after the people that you know will give you a recommendation. That professor that you still talk to from college, or that previous boss that's still a friend of yours that you go out drinking with sometimes. Or maybe it's that colleague that you worked with that you still talk with and has been working with you for 20 years. These are the people that are likely to give you recommendations. Go for that low-hanging fruit first, and then start reaching out to the other ones that, like people you haven't talked to in a while. So I'm going to stop there because I know that was a lot, but I wanted to give you all a brief overview of just some of the things to think about on your profile. I hope you all took some notes. If not, you can watch it on the replay on YouTube or here on LinkedIn. But Jay, welcome to the stage. How are you? What would you, first of all, introduce yourself and then let us know what part of your profile you'd like us to look at for you.
Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon, Felipe, and everyone on the call. My name is Jay, joining from Massachusetts. Joining from Massachusetts, having some pizza and Sprite. So about my LinkedIn profile, one of the things that I wanted to share is images. Okay. So in the image section, I had displayed some of the various pictures that I had on my profile. Now, when it comes to images, one thing that I did want to share is that when you post an image onto your LinkedIn profile, it has to have some kind of meaning to it. Okay. So, for example, I have on my profile a picture of a ventilator that I use at night when I go to sleep. So why did I post that? Because I wanted people to know that it's a device that I use at night that when I go to sleep because I have a disability. Now we see in the picture that there is a meaning behind it. So that's one thing did want to share is that when you're posting a picture or any accomplishment that you've done and you have a picture with it, have it have some kind of caption or logo. Because if you just post a picture, that's not enough. And you're not showing the audience what it is representing. Also, one thing that Felipe did talk about is he talked about the use of glasses, and so one picture that I show my pictures with sunglasses on, but that's just because I just wanted to represent my personal side of things. What kind of person I am. Am I a sad person, frustrating person, happy person, cool person? And I like to think of myself as a cool person despite my challenges. So that's another thing that I wanted to share. But mostly, Felipe is right. When you're taking a picture, try not to have your eyes covered unless you wear regular glasses. That's really important. Um, and what was another thing I did want to share? Oh yeah, the other thing I did want to share is that, when it comes to employment, if you have any changes in your employment, it is very important that you update it immediately because your audience may not know that you changed jobs and they might think that you're still working for that other employer, excuse me. So once you have a status change in your employment, update it immediately because that shows that you've gone up the corporate ladder or uh, you you've done something in your employment, that's saying okay. So like for example, when I worked at CVS, I was offered a full-time position. So what I did is I updated my employment and I said CVS start date here, and I don't know. And I didn't say an end date for that end date area, but I knew exactly that as soon as I got the full time, I updated my profile right away because I knew it was going to happen. So that's some pointers I just wanted to share. I pass the Mac back to Mac.
So back to Felipe, but Jay, you bring up some good points. Although I know you with the sunglasses side of things, you say you want to show your fun side. Felipe, I wanted your thoughts on this because my opinion would be actually, have those glasses off so people can identify you. But yeah,
No,
I'm going to
I,
go.
I would agree.
see what his
I
thoughts
think I think seeing your eyes in the profile picture, I would recommend no glasses. That's my recommendation, mostly because you can do a picture of you wearing the sunglasses in your featured section, and that highlights, that's where you can highlight your personality. That profile picture, if you're looking to look at all professional, that's not conveying professional. That's conveying fun, which is great. But you can convey the fun in the featured section without it taking away from the level of professionalism, because you want people to take you seriously too. And so that's why I think covering the eyes. Look, I always say, if you're wearing sunglasses, what are you hiding? It's what I think. I'm not saying that everyone thinks that. It's just the first thought that comes in my eyes. Unless we're at the beach, if we're inside or you're in pictures, like, what are you hiding? Are you drunk? Are you high? Are you just nervous? Are you just trying, And so, I mean, again, I go through all these different things in my head. I'm just being honest. But Jay, I appreciate you sharing that, because I think also updating it accurately. Nothing's worse than saying, "Oh yeah, I've worked at this job." Wait, you said you left a year and a half ago, but your LinkedIn said you still work there. That doesn't. That makes me see you don't have attention to detail. If you did, you would update that. Do I care that your Facebook is up to date? No, I'll be honest, I really don't care about that. Do I care that your LinkedIn's up to date? Yes, because that is your professional profile, and that I would expect it to be up to date. So, look, everyone, we have half hour here. This is a chance for us to critique respectfully your profile, give you some feedback on it. So if you want to be brave enough to do it, look, I know others benefit when we've done it in the past. It has been one of the most well-received things that people get, not just from the people that come up, but the people that watch someone else go through it. So who do we have? I cannot see any names. Who do we have here waiting?
It's me. It's Christine Feedy.
Oh, Christine. Oh, there you go.
I'm sorry. I'm getting ready to go to a party, so I'm trying to get dressed and all that. But anyway, my first comment is I wear sunglasses to hide my wrinkles. But anyway, I'm not going to do
You're
that.
hiding something, though. You see?
Yeah. Okay. But that's I agree. I don't think that's the best move for LinkedIn. I just think that this is a good reminder. Like, I think my profile's pretty good. I did it myself. I listen to people like you and take suggestions. But I am pursuing a new credential now. So I'm like, oh, I should probably put that. I'll have my CSCP this year, right? I don't know. I didn't include that. And then I do say Chris Feedy I didn't know I had more than 20 seconds to say my name, because people say Fed or Fetty, or they just get it all wrong. So I like that I can pronounce my name. It's just 4 letters, but people get it wrong all the time. But I like the suggestion that I can say how I help organizations or people or that sort of thing. So I guess I just was glad I showed up today, and that, I heard some of the things. I did put a new photo up. It's black and white, and I
I
only did
like
black.
it. I love it. It looks
Okay.
great. And I'm glad that just come up. Black and white photos, if they look like they're well done, absolutely. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's another way to stand out. And you have color photos in your banner, so that makes up for any people who are like, oh, I like color. Well, you still have color there, but that professional profile picture looks great. You look beautiful, and it looks professional, and I think it's definitely well placed. You really do have, and I've known you for a while, Christine. You've definitely done a lot of work in your profile, and it really does look very sharp and clean. Like, there's no doubt, if I came to your profile, that you're active and up to date. And I don't care really how, like, the fact that you posted something a day ago, that's great, but the rest of the profile screams you're active, you're there, and it's professional. And I love that you're using the rotating banner. That's something that is unique. It is, I think, a premium feature, you all. But if you can see Christine's, and if you go to mine too, she has a rotating banner on top, so you can add different things, that you want to highlight or share. instead of having one busy banner, if you have premium, I like have one banner about who am I, one about what I do, one about the books I write, one about the shows I do. It kind of gives just a little bit of a highlight of separating it, because when it's all on one banner and you do a lot, it can get really busy and people don't look at it. So
I have
kudos
to
to
up my banner game though because yours is amazing. Yours is
it's
like so
great.
professional.
Don't compare. Look,
All
my
right.
banner started like crap. It looked horrible. Not only that, an important tip for you all in the banners, check it on your laptop and check it on your phone. The mobile and the laptop, the way it displays the banner, it changes it. And what happens a lot of times is that part of your banner gets covered by your face. Like in the mobile, it will also see the words are behind the head. But wait, on the laptop, I can see all the words. It's going to change. So look at both of them to make sure that nothing gets cropped out on the mobile versus the laptop. But don't compare yourself to anybody else. Compare. Is your next banner better than the previous one? You're doing great. That's all you need to worry about.
If you say so. Thank you. I also would like to be more proactively solicited. Like I don't feel like, I am currently happy where I am right now. I still feel like I feel like I could still contribute a lot more, and I'm limited in certain ways in this role because I want to change the whole organization, the way they do everything. But that's just me. I just see opportunity everywhere, and it's just how my brain works, and I get overloaded by all the
Well,
ideas I get.
Christine, here's what I'll say about this. Two things. One, be careful with solicitations, because you're at a current job. You don't want them to think that you don't want to be there so badly that everyone knows you're looking to leave. So make sure that when you solicit that you are fairly discreet in how you do it, looking for other opportunities, that your current job doesn't really see it as a red flag. Two, I always tell people, when they say, I wish I got more solicitations to do things and opportunities, I always ask them, how much are you solicited? Are you going out there and reaching out to them? How often are you trying to network with them? Because it's a two-way street. You give as much as you get. So,
Well, you mean within my job, or I meant like on LinkedIn?
Outside.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay.
So
All
like
right.
I used to think, oh well, people, I'll have my recruitment open to work, not banner, but like just for recruiters to see. So it's not like publicly, but hey, I'm open to work outside if you have a job you think I might be interested in. And I used to think I'm going to wait and see what happens. Wait and see never works. Don't wait and see. Take action. So go ahead and turn on the banner. Turn on the thing saying, hey, I'm passively looking or actively looking, but maybe you don't have the green banner so that everyone knows. But then, what are you doing to let people know, the recruiters know that you are actively looking too? Are you going out there and reaching out to them? Are you liking their posts? Are you engaging with their comments? That's, again, I
never thought of that. I don't know why. I never.
Well, because we want that solicitation. We want that person to come and say, hey, I saw your stuff. I think you have the skills we want, and boom. And I call that the movie job. That's what we see in the movies and we wish happened to us. And we've all wished it. We all want it. It's just the reality is it doesn't really happen that way. I mean, the best thing I've gotten close to is a friend of mine that I used to work with called me and said, hey, we have an opening for this. Would you be interested in interviewing for it? I said, sure. And I went through the interview process and I eventually got it. That's the closest. And that's because I knew somebody that worked with me before, not because they solicited me from just not knowing me. So,
well, I will say that my last two jobs, I was recruited from LinkedIn because, whatever, or they approached me on LinkedIn.
And that's good. Yeah. That's good. And that's where the bonus of being on LinkedIn and being active and visible is. When people are searching, that's how they find you. But I always tell people, don't wait and see, because you might not have anything come if that's the game you play. Wait and play to both sides, so that the wait and see, if they come at you, great, but what else are you doing in the meantime?
The last thing I'll say, as I spent a lot of time, is I do still get solicited, but I want to level up. So I'll say, like, it's either the same, it's just, it's sometimes things just don't fit anymore. whatever. Not that I'm so great, but I've outgrown certain things or whatever else, or it's not where I want to, maybe it's not even outgrowing it. I just not where I want to spend my focus. I know what I'm good at now.
Well, also be careful of the scams. That's another.
Yes. No, I've had those happen to me, Felipe. You know what? I learned. I'll just tell this fast story. Somebody scammed me because they came to me with this great opportunity. It was a little bit too perfect, and it was a weird profile. Not that you can't. Pitney Bowes solicited me from their agency in London. It's not like that doesn't happen. This guy was from some weird country. I don't even remember. I don't want to say weird. I don't remember even, like, obscure. Um, and then he disappeared. So then somebody else approached me about a Gartner job, which was too much on the nose. First, I was excited, and it was so much on the nose that I actually went back and said, wait a minute. Do you mind if we continue this conversation if you give me your work email address? And then they disappeared, their profile
Yeah.
disappeared. I think what people are doing with that scam is, what I've heard is, they say that your LinkedIn profile needs to be done again and your resume. Like, they didn't ask me for money or social security number right away or anything like that.
All right,
But then
you're coming to a lot of stuff, and I want to cover some specific things for people to look at real quick. Because I appreciate you sharing that story. But the scams that I'm referring to are a little bit of everything. So you had an example there of a scam of somebody who reached out to you but isn't willing to give you contact information. Red flag. You get emails saying, hey, saw your profile, saw your resume online, whatever. Have a great opportunity. Send me your resume. You send your resume. They send it back. Like, this looks great. The only thing is that in order for it to be, in line for our applicant tracking system, we need it to be reformatted. We have a great resume writer that can help you with this. And they try to get somebody to pay. That's a scam. The other thing also is, there are people, if you ever have anybody reach out to you, always check on them on LinkedIn. Because guess what? 9 out of 10 times when I get that little email about a job opportunity, and I get them regularly, I go to LinkedIn, I pull them up, and I'm like, I'm not connected with them. They haven't viewed my profile. So I send them a message. Hey, want to make sure that with all the scams going on around the world right now, that this is not you, but I think somebody might be impersonating you. And sure enough, they are impersonating a recruiter or somebody using their picture and sending the email to you. So all those scams, y'all, please double check. Trust but validates. Inspect what you expect, because nothing's worse than someone having your information. And this goes all the way to, they'll offer you a job. They'll send you paperwork for new hire paperwork, get your social security, your driver's license, all that information. And then guess what? They disappear. Oh, and your bank account information for your direct deposit. And then guess what? Then they disappear. So you need to validate and trust. Don't wait until it's too late. All right. It's always, and feel free to check out, reach out to people that you know. Reach out to me. Hey, can you validate this person for me? Do you know if is there anything about them that looks sketchy? I'll be happy to share my opinion. But please, I'd rather have you do that than get scammed. All right, Jay, I know you made a comment that you had a question to ask. What's your question?
I totally forgot.
Okay. Mac, how about you? Let's go over to you.
Yeah.
What do you thoughts about everything else shared?
Well, I was just thinking about what Christine was saying, and yourself there, Felipe, about the, being proactive when wanting other opportunities, but you're already in a specific role. And for somebody like Christine, one of the things that you can be doing that can get on the radar of all the right people is talking about the frustrations you see in business. When you post and say, hey, these are the kinds of things I'm seeing in organizations, and I really think these are the things that could make an impact. So you show off your expertise, you show that you're a thought leader in your space, and you then engage and ask people to respond and discuss the points that you feel should be done better. And what that does is give other employees an opportunity to see the skill set that you have and the interest levels that you have, because if that matches the values and the interest they have right now, guaranteed that when it comes to organizations, you'll tend to find people in your organization will be connected to other people in similar roles in other organizations, and people tend to follow the competition as well. even though they might not do it directly, they scrolling and they watching the feed. And by doing that, and also engaging with organizations that kind of match the values that you would like to work with, by engaging with their company page posts, because the one bizarre thing that we see is that company page posts may get a lot of likes, but they hardly get any comments. And when you make a comment, the people that have liked or follow that page will see you in their feed. And that's a way for you to proactively inject yourself into the places you want to be. And
I like that.
Looking at your analytics, when you look at your analytics, because you're a premium member, you've got the scrolling banners, you can see what the job roles are and the organizations that are looking at your profile. If those aren't right, remember, you have trained the machine that is LinkedIn to show you what you see today. If you are not getting the right people looking at your accounts or the right companies, then that's because you haven't shown the machine, which is LinkedIn, by searching for the right things that you're not telling it, what am I interested in? Show me more of that, because that's ultimately how the machine works. It wants to deliver and keep you on the platform. But people don't realize that, rubbish in, rubbish out.
Well, and it's not always rubbish, because, look, for a good 6 months, I started realizing I don't see anything in my feed about HR or recruitment or training. I'm like, why am I not seeing it? Like, the only thing I was seeing was all my friends, all of you all, which is great.
Sorry.
No. Again, that's why I say it's not rubbish. I was seeing all of the people that I'm connected with and that I like their posts, but what that told me was I wasn't engaging enough with the people in the HR field and their posts in the past 6 months, because none of their stuff was coming to my feed. So I wasn't, like Max said, I wasn't feeding LinkedIn what I liked and what I wanted to see for it to show it to me.
Yeah, it's just being a bit more intentional.
Yeah. So don't.
I have a quick comment.
Wait, don't scroll on LinkedIn like you would on TikTok. Be intentful, like Max said. All right, go ahead, Christine. What's your comment?
No, I agree. Like, I was seeing you and you guys, and I love you guys and all that. But I have been trying to produce more thought leadership type content and videos. And I have noticed that I have gotten a lot more followers in supply chain. And my feed is reacting accordingly. But there's so much more I could do. I think a lot of times, so my company, and without getting into whole spiel, does a lot of, besides certifications for individuals, we transform companies by building capability and all this other stuff. So I'd rather, a lot of individuals come to me for advice that want to get their credentials and want to be an expert in supply chain, but I want the companies to come to me too. So this was great. Because
so reach out to the companies and be visible on their company pages, like Max said. And and the other thing about that, what Christine was talking about, I think it's important that when you're out there and you're doing the stuff to be visible, make sure that you're actually, what, my point just went whoosh. But all right, it'll come back to me. But before I say that, I do also want to make another point. I love what Meryl shared here in the comments. And it's funny, I want to say, I just saw Jay Shetty speaking, and I want to say he said the same thing that Meryl just said here, that comparison is the thief of joy. And that is so true. The moment you start comparing yourself to somebody else, it takes away any joy from the progress that you've made.
it's called also the disease of more. Like, even like my sister makes a lot more money than me, and then I'll see, my sister's a wonderful person, right? She really is a very generous, wonderful person. But there's a lot of people that make more than her, and then so on and so
that's
on
not
and so
fun.
on.
Yeah. So don't do that to yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people. I mean, if I compared myself to other people, I never would have done half the crap that I've done. I would be like, oh, I can't write a children's book. There's too many people that do it better than I do. I'm not good enough. No, it's not. Can you do better than what you did a year ago? Then great, you made progress. And that's just that. So I love that you shared that. And I also, there's another mention here, and update your profile. Oh, please, my favor, update your picture. don't have someone meet you and like, oh, wow, you are a lot older than I thought. I mean, it's bad enough when you do it on the dating app, but on LinkedIn, come on, you got people. Let's make sure. Now, I will say, if anyone ever tells you what they told me one time, like, you look a lot younger than your picture. Well, then I'm good. I just need to catch up to the picture. I'll just wait. I was like, I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment, but clearly I'm not looking to reverse. But you don't want your high school prom picture as your profile picture or your graduation picture from college as your profile picture, especially if it has that old school black or blue background that's obvious it was a school picture. So just make sure you update things. And we're not saying you have to change things on your profile all the time, but review it, update it. You might realize, oh crap, I don't do that anymore. I need to change that. Or I stopped volunteering there. I need to update that. Because you don't want to come across as misrepresenting yourself. And Chris says he compares himself to his dogs. Well, dude, again, aim lower. You know, the dogs are amazing, unconditional. They don't talk back. They have a lot of things. That's a high bar. So compare yourself to yourself, not your dog. And 1% better every day. Here's one thing and I'm going to pass it back to you, Mac and Joel. We learn something every day, you all. That's why we have learned as much as we have on LinkedIn, is because we literally learn something new every day. And that philosophy carries you forward in life. But remember, LinkedIn makes changes without telling you about it. They're like, let's just drop this change and see what happens. And they sit back and watch everyone go crazy. Oh my God, there's a change. What's happening? What is this? Make sure that you're always open to learning about it. And speaking of change, the conversation is going to change dramatically. You all get ready for it because we have a special guest here. Senor Gabriel, how are you, my friend? And before you even ask, yes, the show is live.
Okay. I just need clarification. That's the whole point of the question. It's like, I just need clarity. I mean, come on, you guys know we live in the AI world now, right? So it could be an AI live stream. I don't know. I'm just wanting to be curious. That's all.
Are you AI right now? How do we
know? I don't know if you pull my name up in the StreamYard there and present my name, it'll let you know. Oh, see, look.
See,
the
that's
AI
a problem.
See, this is the problem. Oh my gosh. So
I will say AI Gabe looks a lot better and younger than other Gabe. You look phenomenal.
Thank you. I am what a compliment. And yes, Chris, this is live. I love doing this. Sorry. But yeah, I had to jump on. I saw all you gentlemen on here and talking about profiles. I've been on LinkedIn now 8+ years, somewhere around there. I've seen the whole thing about the LinkedIn profiles. I was just joking around earlier. But like my wife, like she's getting into LinkedIn now, like she's getting more active. So for her, learning her like how to situate her LinkedIn like profile, like I love it. She's even getting like my father-in-law. She set up his LinkedIn profile yesterday because she's been motivated to write a lot of books lately. And in doing so, she wants to be able to reach out to a bigger audience here on the LinkedIn platform. So part of it is, again, having a very well put together profile. So it speaks to who you are and what you are. Mine's transitioned over many different iterations since we're talking about AI. Different times in my journey here that I've changed my profile. I mean, I went from a love enthusiast to now what I would call for a moment I was an AI slop advocate, just because it was different. Like, come on. But now, just as AI has become more integrated in what we're doing, I like seeing it a little bit more and more. A lot more things that you guys are actually using it for good purposes. Me, I just try to find I'm just trying to find the hole in the dam and put my finger in it, and then stop the. Oh my God! See, look, this is why I can't do this. I wanted to go somewhere real, and then he brings copper into the situation here.
Well, he came up. He's like, "Can you please tell Gabe that I am no longer available for his podcast because he never called me?" And he's very upset. He's crying.
Oh, okay, that's okay. Tell Copper, look, come here, Hershey. I now have my own miniature version.
Look, Copper, he tried to replace you. You're the OG. You're not. He's gonna try to interview his dog, and it's not gonna work.
It won't, but I have.
Oh, he's so cute.
Oh,
Look at that little mini Copper, mini me.
Yes.
Say hi to mini me.
Mini. Yeah, you got the jumbo size, like
Yeah.
when they ask you.
I got the super big gulp. You got the mini gulp.
Yes. I was like, I was always jealous of Felipe. I was like, man, I'm envious.
That you're jealous of the dog.
Yes, that too. Come on, I mean, you've done so much. You've written a children's book. You put that into the world. That's kind of amazing. And then you also transitioned into a new position. Like you've done a lot.
Well, my kids are growing up. I have more time.
Yeah, that too.
Let's call a spade. Either they want you around all the time, or they're like, we want you around like before, but you got a lot more time on your hands.
Oh.
You need a hobby.
I think Jay needs to say something.
Yes, Jay.
Yeah, and I remember my question.
Okay.
It was about the topic itself. I was going to say, like, what is the percentage that employees are going to be looking at your profiles? Because I'm noticing like employees are more interested in your resumes more than your LinkedIn profiles. So what is the percentage?
I would disagree with that.
Oh.
The resume is slowly dying. It's gonna be a slow death. It's gonna die way after we're all gone, but it's gonna be slow. But one thing that recruiters do is they always go to LinkedIn profiles to after they see the resume. That's almost the immediate thing that most of them do. And the issue is that LinkedIn provides you more information than the resume does in many cases. And so they are definitely going to value that LinkedIn profile. That's why we're saying if you don't have it optimized with all your information, you're losing out on standing out when that recruiter does view your profile. There's nothing worse. And I know this happens if you all look at it. You apply for a job, and guess what? The recruiter looked at your profile. You're like, yes. And you didn't get the call. You're like,
oh my gosh.
But that's might be because your profile didn't tell the right story, or maybe the dates were mixed matched with your resume and you didn't update it. And guess what? They're like, this guy's sloppy, no attention to detail, not going to talk to them. So
yeah, this is from a guy again. This is from a guy who just transitioned from being let go from one position into something else. So his experience is very recent to what this speaks to, which is why I like what you were saying, Felipe, because
and stay away from LinkedIn Easy Apply. Just don't. Don't. It's too easy. It's like the easy button. You want to touch it? Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
And can I just say that Gabe has already upset Martha because of the dog. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Upset me like she's jealous. She's not here.
Yeah, she's probably jealous. Okay. Don't do that, Gabe. Come on.
Hey, that's what I do, man. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
No other way. But does this mean? I'm sorry to interrupt, but does this mean the death of the ATS systems, Felipe? Like,
no, I mean, I think the ATS are going to evolve, and they're still going to be relevant because there's got to be some tracking of how they are entering the workforce and applying. I think the resumes are going to evolve, and it might end up being that they're applying with their digital resume pulled from LinkedIn. I mean, I was shocked at how many jobs required you, not asked you, required you to include your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
It's becoming more and more, not they ask, a requirement. So I think it's important for people to realize that. And Gabe, you started talking about something in the very beginning when you first came on, and it was about AI. Wait, it's coming to me. Oh, so one of the things about AI that's also important, if you're not listing AI as a skill, you're
Man.
already at the 8 ball. Okay. You start, I'm at the job that I've been at now. I've been there for 5 weeks, 6 weeks now. It's been wonderful. The recruiters are great, and I have a whole recruiting team, and I'm teaching them about how to use LinkedIn better for networking. They use LinkedIn, but they're like, I'm bad about just reaching out and finding candidates. I go, let's do a class. So we're doing a class next week. But here's the thing. Every job description, and we have 2,200 employees, you all. Every job description, the requirement must have fundamental, intermediate, or advanced AI skills. You must. Everyone in the company is being pushed. Use AI in your jobs. Look for efficiencies and opportunities. We give you Copilot licenses. We encourage you to do it. And then they send out a survey. Where are you in your AI knowledge? Minimal, intermediate, advanced, and then follow-up questions on each areas. And they told everybody, this is not a performance rating. We are creating training classes for all levels, and we want to make sure that we're creating the right classes. And so what they do on Monday, we roll out all these classes that people can self-train on and, asynchronous learning, and go out there and say, I'm embarrassed to say that I don't know shit, but I'm going to take the fundamental classes and let them gain that confidence and grow. That's the way that good organizations should bring their staff along. Not, oh, we can use AI, let's get rid of them. You know what? Why don't you teach them AI and see what else they can do now? Because you might be shocked at how valuable, and a lot of people are scrambling to rehire people back. But AI is important to have on your resume because leaders are requiring it, they're teaching it, and they're looking for it.
I got a question about that then, Felipe.
All right.
So do you feel like it's deteriorating some of, say, the people that are being brought into some of these company cultures like that, deteriorating their skill sets when it comes to, like, say, like, again, critical thinking, things like this, where, this would be something that need to be applied to, say, a project or something. Now it's like, hey, let me rely a little bit more on this AI thing because, boy, it makes me not have to think a lot. My head hurts.
So I am concerned that people are using it to use it as the easy way out. And I have one example of somebody that I know that is like, I hate troubleshooting. It's too much troubleshooting. It's too difficult. And like the brain hurts. And I'm like, because you haven't been using it. That's why I didn't say that to them, but that's the reality of it. And all of a sudden you're trying to troubleshoot ideas, and you haven't had to do that because you're relying on AI to answer all the questions for you until you realize they were half wrong. Now, I will tell you what I told people yesterday on this podcast. If you're not arguing with your AI answers, you're not using it right.
Oh, that's
because you need to be questioning. Well, hold on. I don't like this. This is not what I asked for. I want this. You need to be arguing with your AI and make sure that you're telling it exactly what you want, the way you want it. That way, you know that you're in the driver's seat. The moment that you're like, write a draft for this for me, send it, done. Guess what? You're going to become brain dead at some point because you're not using your brain. So I always tell people, use that muscle and inspect what you expect, argue with AI, and use it to help you enhance it. My book is a perfect example. I did everything I could myself, and I used AI for where I ran into roadblocks. I couldn't draw my daughter to look like a cute girl that looked like my daughter. I couldn't draw my dog to look like the dog that we had. So I used AI to cartoonize them the way that I drew my cartoon animals, and that way they will all look similar. So I still have part of me in there. I still wrote it. But boy, when I asked it to redo my dog, cat, and my daughter, I argued with it. Be like, no, the cat only has one eye. Don't add another eye. No, my dog did not have short fur. He had longer fur. No, my daughter had blue eyes. I agree, brown eyes, not green eyes. And that's because I was I was inspecting what I expected. And
okay.
When it's your project, your idea, make sure you own it and let AI be that tool. And that's where I think people we're going to see that. But I also will tell you, talking to people at work, I can see when people are not able to answer what they did. And I'm like, you used AI for it, didn't you?
Yes.
And I had someone arguing back and forth on the chat. And I'm like, can you stop putting my questions that I'm asking you into your chat and responding back with a response. How'd you know I was doing that? I go, because I'm not stupid. And it's obvious that you don't talk like that.
So that leads me to, and you guys might have answered this already. I know we're trying to get done here, but you know, as far as what you're using AI for into, say, optimizing your resume and optimizing your LinkedIn profile, how are you telling people to apply AI into helping develop what your story should be as far as coming with your LinkedIn profile, like, you know, to who you're speaking to in your brand, and then also how to update your resume to match that, like to so that both of them kind of align with each other?
I mean, first and foremost, you can eventually putting AI on your resume is going to be like Microsoft Office skills. That's a given. You put it on there, it's going to be that. That's what it's going to become. Right now, if you want to show examples, just show examples that whatever it is, I use AI to help me polish, grammar check, spell check drafts. I have it help me write drafts. I have it help me do some come up with workflows. I have it help me code. Whatever you say you have it help you do. It's when you start saying it that you have it help you do things that actually you're not doing it all. It's doing it all for you. And that's where, and so when I interview you, I don't need to run your stuff through AI. I just need to talk to you and find out, all right, let's see how much you know about what you wrote. And if you cannot speak to what you wrote, guess what? I'm not going to hire you.
There you go.
Simple.
Right. That makes sense. But I like that answer. I like that human element still applies to, even though we're in this world of AI and how everything is being formulated, how people are developing their outlines, what they're putting together, it still comes down to the bare bones of how you communicate it. Like,
I still need to use you. I need you to use your brain. So I still hired you for your brain. Use it, and help AI give you more time to use your brain, not time to sit back and watch reality TV. No offense to anybody who likes reality
TV. No, but I like that, because again, there's with so many people still having to shift in the job market because of AI, right? Because people are getting the jobs are being eliminated, things are being cut because of this. Now, my thing is, you might be mad at it, but how do you, again, that's why I was asking the question, how do you use it to kind of now transition into having to use it to help you find your next step, your next course of action for your career?
I think about this, and I'll end with this, and I'll hand it back to Mac. One of the things that I think is important is where I'm working, they have adopted AI very well. And one of the things that HR has always had, we've always had a log of all past and current documentations, discipline, terminations, so that we can track best past practice to make sure that we're consistent on how we do things, and that we're not playing favoritism, right? Well, we're using AI now to log everything that we do, investigations, terminations, whatever. And we've set it up so that the AI prompts us, don't forget about these tasks in case you need to do it. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. And here's some questions with people when you interview them. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. Let me add some of those questions I didn't think about. And then I come on adding notes and plugging things in. At the end, it gives recommendations on resolutions. I decide like, oh, no, that's a little bit harsher compared to what we've done in the past, but it gives me an idea of that I'm on the right track. When I first used it, for those of you who remember this, how many of you remember the old original Batman and Robin series on TV? It felt like the Bat computer. I entered all the information out and it spit out a recommendation. I'm like, it's the freaking Bat computer. This is awesome. But again, what that did was it allowed me to focus on the investigation, talking to the people, finding out what really happened, getting doctor stuff, whatever I need. It frees up the time for me to do more important work. Not that all that documentation is not important, but writing it all up, uploading it, drafting it, it's all that time spent having to do stuff that it can provide me some guidance and help me make sure I don't forget anything a little bit quicker and easier is brilliant. So I want people not to be afraid. I want you to use it to, what else can I do now without burning out? What can I actually work on that's actually more meaningful than filing paperwork? Mac, what are your thoughts? We said a lot. Me and Gabe went into a whole deep hole there. And Mac, I love you, but you're on mute, my friend. It's part of your brand. We gotta love it.
It's become such a strong part of my brand. It's scary. Oh yeah. Well, I think there's an opportunity for
a new Hasbro game. How can you unmute Mac? For how long can you unmute Mac for? Coming from Hasbro.
I think there's an opportunity to have a whole discussion around that, because the use of AI is something that, as you said, if it's not on your skill set and it's not on your resume or CV, as we call it here, it is going to concern people, and we have to learn. It's like you're saying, it's the same as all the Microsoft products that we used to have as skill sets. So I think that's essential from a recruitment perspective and job hunting side of things. But also, even as company owners and business owners and leaders, those are some of the things that we need to be showing right now, that we are on the cutting edge. We understand the change of the landscape. Because if you can't understand, you can't communicate with people that want those changes or need those changes, then that's also going to set you back as a business. And the thing is, Jay mentioned this in the comments earlier about a lot of the stuff in our private chat, about a lot of the stuff that we use in whether it be in retail or in business. A lot of the time we're using AI without even realizing that AI is involved, because AI, it's only over the last 3-4 years that everybody's gone ChatGPT, but we've been using AI for decades. So it's only become a little bit more prominent that we kind of speaking about it in a more kind of obvious way. And there's been all these new apps and things that have come out, and it's advancing at a pace that is insane.
And you know what, Mac, one thing with that is the big change also is that it's been around for a long time, like you said. Companies have been using AI. It's just now in our hands, and we have the ability to do what the movie makers were able to do. And one thing also is sometimes it helps us change the perception of who we are. Now, we have a whole summit coming up about work-life balance coming up in October, and we have this beautiful post. It was just very professional, very serious. And I said, do you mind if I create one that's a little more fun? And so I created this, just to give you a little, and I posted about this, and it just has a cartoon version of me talking, and then it shows all the different presenters in their cartoon versions of themselves, just to show, hey, we're fun too, besides talking about the serious topic. And I think that's AI is giving us that ability to change perceptions of how people are a little bit. Just when you use it too much, you lose yourself. Be careful.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because I was having this conversation with my daughter the other day about how a lot of people are using AI, and it's so easy for us to become lazy when we're using AI, because you kind of go, oh, okay, well, I can create that thing in 3 seconds, I'll do that. But then you don't realize you've done 10 of those now, and they all look pretty much the same. And somebody said yesterday about the fact that like an AI banner is now trying to squeeze in so much information in such a small space, and it looks structurally amazing, but it's jam-packed with information that you've got to zoom in to try and see what's going on. And we've got to, and this is why I'll finish off, because I will give my app a bit of a plug. But the reason that the app, that the Mocko Growth app that I built, was because of these little checks of checking in. Are you still doing the right things, on the right things? All the things you don't know that you need to do. And things like your profile picture. It's not a one and done thing that, as Felipe says, when you upload it and it's from your school years and it's been 3 decades since that time.
That would be my picture with my braces on and a cheesy porn mustache. That's my senior picture, just so you all know.
But there's so much, because we going off the back of the AI thing. There's so much of the stuff that we have to do, and there's so much noise that it's very easy. Christine was talking earlier about the updating the profile, but and yourself, Felipe, as well, where the people that you're seeing are the people you're spending most of your time engaging with. And this is why what I've put into the Mocko app is just little reminders of, hey, okay, so you're busy on LinkedIn, but are you checking in on your prospects? Are you checking in on your target audience? Are you checking in with the people that you want to collaborate with? Have you updated your profile picture in the last 3 months, 6 months? Have you updated your banner in the last 2 years? Have you done, like, it gives you these daily, weekly, quarterly, annual checks that sometimes you just tick and go, yeah, I've done that. But sometimes it's like, oh my goodness, I've had like 3 iterations of what I've been doing over the last 12 months, and I haven't told anybody about it. I just assumed everybody knew what I was doing. So I want to leave everybody with one thought when it comes to your own profile is, when last did you do a post that tells people who you are and what you actually do? Because all of us assume our profile does it for us.
That's an excellent idea. And for those of you who've been on LinkedIn for a long time, like, no, I've been here. It's called a reintroduction post. Reintroduce yourself to the people that don't know you. They do so much better than you would expect. I convinced my CEO to do it, and she's like, oh my God. The response I got, she was so happy about it. So again, that's a great idea, Mac. A great idea. All right, so
handing over to you, Felipe.
Also, round room, and then what we have coming up, and any last thoughts. So as far as me, I will say that just a reminder with AI, use it intelligently, and if you're not arguing with it, you're not using it right, because you're not telling it what you really want. You're just settling for basic. And if that's what you want to be, is basic, all right. But I'm guessing most of you don't. And as far as what I have coming up, well, I mentioned Brady and Lucky the One-Eyed Cat is launching. I do have an Instagram page that I've launched that has a lot of cute dad joke type of cartoons where the animals speak. So don't shame me for bad jokes. They're meant for 3 to 7-year-olds. If they make you laugh, it's okay too. No shame in that either. But I'll put that in the chat. But also next Sunday, which is actually also my birthday, we have Careers Chaos and Coaching and with Melissa Houston. And we're going to be talking about the dude and especially the don'ts of networking. The biggest mistakes that people make during networking. We're going to talk about them and what you could do to improve on that. And then, of course, I'll be back with this amazing crew on Saturday and looking forward to that. And Martha, I think, will be back as well. So thank you all for joining us here. And I appreciate you all. And one last thing, this is for Jay and for Chris P down there and other people. I'm going on Sunday to go see Spider-Man. Can't wait. Can't wait. Can't wait. I've already heard that it's freaking phenomenal, so I cannot wait. So I will be reporting back to you next Saturday on my thoughts on Spider-Man Brand New Day. Over to you, Matt.
Well, I was going to go to Joel first, and then
I'm sorry. Over to you, Joel.
Because Joel's been like a mouse. Like, he hasn't even made a squeak. Actually, he's been so quiet.
He's been talking to Bailey too much.
Yeah, Joel, what's happening, my friend? What can you introduce? What do people need to know? What's going on? And then I'll finish up.
Well, I'm currently building an app, or trying to at least, play around with Codex on OpenAI. I think it will be the death of my Mac, personally, because I've got an Intel Mac. So I think it's going to kill this computer. But it's all good fun, and nothing eventful this week happening, to my knowledge, unless you know something I don't, Mac, in which case feel free. And otherwise, I'll see you all next week.
May I recommend that you add another word to the death of your Mac laptop or MacBook, because I don't want people thinking, is Mac dying? Is it, I think so. God forbid anyone misunderstood that. The death of Mac. It's like death of Superman headlines. So just MacBook, Mac laptop, Mac something. Just not Mac Laubscher, please.
Anyway, yeah, no, I'm still alive, still annoying everybody, still kicking. So hopefully I'll be doing that for a few more decades. But for anybody that's a car enthusiast or owns a vehicle, I have an exciting project where I've launched something called the Digital Auto Logbook. And I've been trialing it for a while, and I've recently been getting it exposed to some classic car shows and some incredible vehicles. And there are a lot of petrol heads around. I didn't realize there were that many. But if you go onto Instagram and go and search DAL, DAL, or Digital Auto Logbook, I would love your support on there, and go and check out some of the vehicles. Does anybody on screen remember the Trump cards for cars? So I've created a version of that where there are 5 to 6 different cards on each vehicle telling you about the specifications of the car, where it was spotted in movies, like all the history, like all the stuff that if you love cars,
Where it was located when Max stole it.
Yeah, well, I am a bit concerned because I did put where I spotted the vehicle, and then I had to kind of pull back a bit because I spotted a car that looked like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And I went spotted in, and then I realized,
Gabe, you're a mess.
It was in somebody's garage in a very kind of private location. And I was like,
yeah, well, not only that, what if you like said, look at this car I tagged here, and all of a sudden the wife's like, you said you were at work. Why is your picture being tagged over here? You might get in trouble with somebody's family. You never know.
I tell you what, but
Max, you might want to see who that lovely pink McLaren is always outside St Pancras Station belongs to.
Well, for those who love cars, if you like the supercars, I was just collaborating with somebody who's just shared the new Bugatti. And I tell you what, it blew my mind. So go and have a look on the Digital Auto Logbook.
Put it in the chat.
Let me know. I will. I'll go and drop the link. But it is.
Hey, don't be a little pushy there, huh, Felipe? Like, do it now.
Shut up.
Do it now. Like, right now. Like, right now.
Shut up.
I'm hosting a show, but don't worry about that. Do it now. Do it now.
I've got to feed my dog now. So.
You go feed your dog, my friend. I will put it in. Now the page is timed out on me. What a pleasure. I will drop it in the comments. There we go.
I'm doing mine as well, so I'm not being hypocritical.
Good man. Excellent stuff. Well, it has been shared in the comments. It'll be shared on LinkedIn in a second. But other than that, we will see everybody next week. If you've got any topics or comments or suggestions on what you want us to talk about over the next few months, please drop that in as well, because there's a lot going on for a lot of people, and we want to make sure we bring you tons of value. And also, we are also looking for one or two additional co-hosts that we can add to the panel. And gents, I'm going to be a bit harsh here, but I prefer it to be female co-hosts, so we can just dilute the testosterone.
I can make that happen. I can become a female real quickly.
Gabe, you mute.
No,
okay.
Gabe's not on mute. He's definitely speaking, but
I'm speaking. I can see my avatar. It just looks like you, so you're confused a little bit. So, I can. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to become a female. But I will say this: I got a lot of things in the thinking about right now, so I'm going to make Felipe cartoons that are voiced by Mac. Though I'm going to confuse people.
Oh.
So I'm going to go take Mac's voice, put it into an AI generator, and then I'm going to create Felipe's videos where he's talking, but it's Mac's voice coming out. So people are like, I don't know what I'm watching, but
I can't do a British accent, so I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It's going to cause some short circuits in some people's brains going,
And I look forward to seeing that. Didn't have Mac speaking Spanish. That'd be even funnier.
Even better. Even better.
All right, y'all. Well,
okay,
vámonos.
Mac, thank you again for a great show, and I look forward to checking out the cars. That sounds like fun.
Is indeed. Can go a bit down a rabbit hole, but it's all fun. Folks, have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for being here. Love to all.
Adios.
Adios.